Hello, my name is Javier Dimek Onil Jamie. My matrix number MS240929292, and today I would like to share my personal interpretation of a very meaningful quote by Carol and Tom Lanson, which is the quote is differentiated instruction is not a set of strategies but a way of thinking about teaching and learning. When I first read this quote, I realized that differentiated instruction, or TI, is not simply about using different teaching techniques or activities. It is actually about how a teacher they make things about their student and how we view their difference, their readiness, their interests, and how we adjust our teaching to make learning fair and meaningful for everyone. As a future educator, I believe this quote challenges us to shift our mindset from teaching to subject to teaching the student. So in this forum, I will explain how this quote relates to the four critical components of DI. First is readiness, second interest, third is learning style, and the last one is learning environment. I will also share a classroom scenario and my personal reflection as a future teacher. So we move to the next part, which is key points. In this part, I will explain and elaborate more what the four components of differentiated instruction. The first key point is readiness. The first component is readiness, which refers to a student current level of understanding and skill before starting a lesson. We can take example, not all students are on the same level. Maybe some student they already feel grab the concept while others are still struggling. A teacher who practice differentiated instruction does not teach everyone in the same way. Instead, the teacher adjusts the content, process, or product according to each student readiness. So we can take another example, which is if I am teaching an English lesson on writing descriptive essay, I may prepare different tasks. Firstly, for students who are still learning basic vocabulary, I provide word banks and example. Second one, for advanced students, I encourage them to use more complex adjective or figurative language. This approach ensures that each student learns at their own pace without feeling left behind or bored. So, according to Tom Lanson, in the research of 2014, differentiated by readiness helps students progress from where they are, not from where we resume they should be. So I will move to the next key points. The second key point is about interest. The second component is interest, which is students are more motivated to learn when the topic relates to something they genuinely care about. So as a teacher, we should identify what excited our student. Maybe some our student advanced in sports and the other rest advanced in music, technology or art, and we need to use that to connect the lesson. So for example, if my student love football, I can design a reading comprehension activity using articles about famous football players. And then this shows that differentiation is not only about academic levels but also about connecting learning to student hearts and passions. When students feel that learning reflects their interests, they become more engaged and be more confident. So that's all for the second key points. Now we move to the third key points, which is a learning style. The third component is learning style, which means every student learns differently. Some are visual learners who learn best draw image and videos. Some are auditory learners who understand better when they listen and discuss. Other are kinesthetic learners who need to move and use hand on activity. For instance, when teaching about adjective, I can show a picture and ask visual learners to describe what they see. After that, I will conduct a group discussion for auditory learners. And the last one, I will use the kinesthetic learning, which is learners use cards or props to act out descriptive scenes. By doing this, I'm not just teaching one way, but I'm teaching in multiple ways so that every student feels included. The last key point is a learning environment. Learning environments refers to both the physical and emotional atmospheres in the classroom. A differentiated classroom is one where students feel safe, respect, and encouraged to express themselves. The seating arrangement, lighting, classroom display, and even teacher-student interaction all affect how students learn. For example, I can arrange group table for collaborative learners and quiet corners for those who prefer to work alone. I can also establish classroom rules that promote respect, empathy, and teamwork. When students feel comfortable, they are more open to learning and participating actively. So, when Tomlinson says, DI is a way of thinking, she means we will always think about how our classroom environment can support every learner's needs, not just academically, but emotionally and socially too. To application in the classroom, now let me share how I will apply differentiated instruction in my future classroom. Imagine I am teaching a year 5 English lesson on descriptive writing. My class has students with very different levels of ability and interest. Here's how I will apply the 4DI components. Readiness, I will make a group student based on their writing skill. Beginners will short sentence using guide templates, while advanced student read full descriptive paragraph. Second one, the key point is interest. Before the lesson, I ask student to choose a topic they like student A, maybe he or she like animals, so I just let him to make the writing feels so he can make more feels personal and exciting. The third one is about learning style. I provide picture for visual learners, discussion for auditory learners, and role play for kinesthetic learners who like movement. And the last one is learning environment. I decorate the classroom with their post writings and encourage positive feedback from peers. This builds a confidence and appreciation for everyone's work. Through this approach, every student learns the same objective rating, a descriptive paragraph, but in a way that matches their readiness, interest, and learning style. So, for the personal reflection, From this task, I have learned that being a good teacher is not about having the best strategy, but about having the right mindset. As a future educator, I want to create a classroom where difference are celebrated, not ignored. I want my students to feel that learning is designed for them, that the voices matter, their efforts are valued, and their growth is possible. To conclude, Carroll and Tomlinson's quote is a reminder that TI is more than a method. It is a teacher mindset. It is about thinking, feeling, and acting with the belief that every student can learn, just not in the same way or at the same time. So that's all from me for this forum. Thank you.